Can we all acknowledge that the mech pilot is actually Shinji from Ava? Like, the similarities are, holy hell, they're unreal right now, because when I saw the character first introduced, I'm like, get in the mech, Shinji. Get in the mech. Get in the mech. Like, the way the character is like, I'm not doing it or whatever, I'm not helping you, or I don't care, and the way he just changed once the battling started and he jumped in, I'm like, it's Shinji. It's Shinji. Like, what? Like, it's Shinji. Like, yo, fucking Shinji. Like, they have Shinji. I mean, there's some differences here and there, but it's basically Shinji. I'm like, oh my god, they really just did this with this character. Okay. This series is anime of the season. Anime of the season. Easily anime of the season. Like, not counting sequels, obviously, but anime of the season. Like, oh my god. Like, that was, wow. I did not think that something like that would happen. But then, I also like how Meteora, how she just cleared up the misinformation. That was good stuff. That really blew me away with how she just like, nope, I'm shutting that shit down. Like, no, I'm telling you what's really going on here. Like, let me explain, okay, the details. So basically, with, you know, the mech character that's Shinji, coming to the world, he's like, wait a minute, did I go in the past or whatever? And then the creators and all that, they're like, yeah, basically you're in the past, because where you're from, it's like, you know, 200 or so years in the future, so yeah, I guess you're in the past. But Meteora's like, no, don't fucking lie to him. He's like, no. Like, Meteora's like, no. Like, you want to know? You're not technically in the past, because this is two separate worlds. This is not the past, because this ain't your world. This world is actually what created your world. So don't think this is in the past. I'm like, yo, Meteora, yo, she's stealing all the scenes. Like, she is stealing all of the scenes throughout the individual episodes. Like, the way she was talking to the military, just talking to the government is like, you know, hey, I stole those missiles and all that. She was just acting like, you know, she could get her way out of it. Like, she was trying to get away with it. And then eventually the bill popped up. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh my god, like, that was so good. But the way she was able to communicate back and forth and actually make it understandable for both parties to understand, and not just both parties, for instance, on both sides, but also us as the viewer. I really like Meteora as a character. She's such a good character, and she is definitely best girl of this series. Like, hands down, best girl of Recreators, because she's able to give so much information to us as the viewer, but also to our characters in the world, that it's so nice. She's a good character, she has a level head, but at the same time, she has some very bad puns. Like, oh my god, Meteora, your puns are, please don't, please don't, like, please stop. But, basically, she's a really fun character, and I like how she constantly just is like, okay, stop telling lies, this is what's really going on. She has a perfect understanding kind of what's going on, or good hypothetical understanding, and that's what makes me really appreciate her character. She's stopping things from becoming awkward, or stopping things from, you know, just going haywire because someone doesn't have the proper information. I mean, think about it like this, okay? If the not Shinji character was told like this was in the past, obviously, he would assume, like, wait a minute, I'm not a created person, like I wasn't in a storybook. You know, I could possibly go to the future again or something. Maybe that's what he's thinking. That might be what the character would think. But since Meteora just shut that down, it's like, no, you're in a different world, that stops some form of plot thread that could have easily went down the road to where, like, the character would be confused, not thinking that, you know, they're created, or thinking they could go to the future or whatever. I'm just glad Meteora is actually the person of reason, and she's just being honest with everyone, saying, like, what is really happening. Now, one other thing I do want to talk about before I get into the nitty-gritty, I want to talk about the ending scene of this episode, which focuses around our MC. Now, I've talked about this enough that our MC is basically non-existent. Like, he has no presence. Like, seriously, an episode could go by and we don't see him, and it's like, you don't really remember, because that's just how the MC is. Like, he has no presence whatsoever. He has stated, and many have pointed out constantly, he said he was the narrator. But the point is, though, is like, still, he's just like, what's the point of his character if he doesn't really do anything? And many have been speculating that, you know, he possibly was the one that wrote the military girl, like how she came about in the first place. And it seems like that is definitely true with the conclusion of this episode. So it seems like the girl in the first episode that died, she is connected to our MC, and he definitely is connected to the military girl that, you know, is starting all these problems in this world. Now, the question is exactly what is she doing towards the MC? Like, does she want to kill him or anything? Or is there something else she wants to do? Because, I mean, when she saw him, she was very shocked. And I'm kind of curious to see exactly how she reacts. Like, how she would react to him when she actually met him in person. Like, why wouldn't she sit down and talk to him or whatever? I'm kind of curious exactly why she hasn't done this yet. Because of all of the others we have seen, for instance, all of the other creators that have been brought up or whatever, constantly the created want to meet their creators, but for her not to go out of her way to talk with them, it makes me very confused. Why hasn't she done that? Why is she not attacking him or whatever? There's a lot of questions I have. And another thing too to really throw this into all of this is that someone gave me a link, which was really shocking, and I take no credit for this at all, but someone gave me a link on Twitter, and I just want to mention it because it is what really impressed me. So, you know, at the end of the episode, when you saw, like, the world Etuda, or whatever it's called, I forget how to pronounce it, it's like E-T-U-D-E or whatever, but, basically, there was, like, a link at the end of the episode, like, in the anime episode, and you saw the character find it and all that, and then you saw this video pop up. Well, apparently, that's actually a real video on the internet. I'm not even joking. It's on Nico Nico and all that, and I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, did they really go that far to do that for this series? Like, you know, I really love studios that do that. I really love companies, studios, whatever, that go that far to kind of just add more immersion to their series, adding sites or links to something that was in an episode, and seeing something like that and what was given to me, I was like, bro, that's insane. Like, that's some really good stuff. I like how that was done. So, just whoever did that, like, whoever part of the studio or whatever went that far to make a link of the site in the video, good stuff. You job well done. Like, that truly, that gets my support. Like, if you want anything that gets me interested in your series or support, when creators are willing to go that far to making a series, that is what I love to see. So, yeah. I guess besides all of that, we now have the plot in sight now. We kind of know what's going on. So we got a glimpse of it in last week, but now it's more concrete with this episode. So the world is basically collapsing if something isn't done, and the only way to really fix it is thanks to our created to actually do something about it. They have to step in, they have to probably stop some things from going haywire, but at the same time, though, it's also going to be the task of the people of the world to actually fix what's going on in the world as well. So, I mean, it's still both sides doing something. Even though the created have more powers, they can do a lot of different things, stop people from dying, it's also going to be up to the creators to stop it as well. So, there is, you know, equal balance here. Even though the created are a powerhouse, they would seem like they would have more of the focus, it seems like the creators also are very important to the plot, too, and saving the world. So it's not just on these powerful beings that's coming into our world. Now, another thing, too, about this is that I like how cover-ups were explained in this episode, and that truly shocked me as well. I did not think the series would go that far with cover-ups, especially in this anime series. I'm really enjoying the world building of Recreator so far, because it's trying to go a little bit of an extra mile to explain some certain things. And one of my biggest problems with Recreators since episode 1 was, where is the military? Where is the cops? Like, you would think with these girls flying in the middle of the sky, blowing up shit, things crashing down, there would be FBI, CIA, whatever, it's just any type of organization, you know, Japanese Defense Force, anyone would pop up, like, everyone pop up, like, seeing stuff like this, like, all of the agencies, all the government, whatever, they'll be noticing this and be like, we gotta put a stop to this, police force, all that, and nothing like that was done, and I'm like, why not? Like, are they just saying, like, oh, it's irrelevant, you know, we're just gonna focus on our characters, and it really lacked that immersion, because if this was real life and that was going on, obviously, military and all that's going to start popping up. They're not going to let that stuff fly. They won't. At first, they'll be not doing much because they don't really know what's going on, but then when they see it constantly happening, they're going to freak out and they're going to do something about it, which makes sense. When a mech pops up and all that with that futuristic technology, makes sense why the military would actually step in and try to stop it. So, I do like seeing that. I like that world building we received finding out that the military is going to be a prominent, you know, thing in this series and not just not happening at all, I do like that. But getting back into what I was talking about earlier and talking about the cover-up, which goes along with the military, I like how they said we can cover it up, but cover-ups aren't that easy because, see, if it leaks, like the cover-up is leaked or whatever, it makes it to where the media and all the people that see the media, they don't trust us anymore. And so if they don't trust us, when we give them more information, it's just going to be a domino effect. It's just like, nobody's going to believe what we say at all. And so they're like, we can't just do a cover-up just for the sake of doing a cover-up. I mean, if anyone says anything, automatically GG. So I do like that. I like the extra details that recreators threw in and all that. And so just a wonderful series. Definitely anime of the season. I love this series. I love every episode I have seen so far. And I continue to wait every Saturday to see a new episode. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.